Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the final episode of Saints Row. We've gone back to a classic look for these final couple missions. And there's one more thing we gotta take care of. We gotta call up one more homie we're gonna use.
I'll be right over.
Yep, Chicken Ned. You can find him. There's a number, his phone number is on a wall in an alley. It says for a clicking good time. And you just call him up and he'll come and beat guys up with his baseball bat for you. Let's give him a little test drive. No donuts for you.
I hate to break this to you, but you got your ass kicked by Employee of the Month, baby.
So yeah, Chicken Ned is clearly a very good homie to have around. You can see he's got on his leg, he's got a purple little band. It's good to know. So let's go ahead and do this mission, and this epilogue mission.
This is Chief Monroe. If you want Julius back, listen to what I've got to say. Now, that stunt you pulled downtown with a rocket launcher cost my associates and I quite a bit of money. Now, I may not be an honest man, but I'm a fair one. So rather than turn Saints Row into a parking lot, I'm gonna let you work off what you owe me. There's a mayoral campaign going on, and I want one of the candidates taken off the ballot. Marshal Winslow is in his campaign bus right now, and he has an appointment with the northbound. Park that bus on the train tracks tonight, or you'll find Julius's body floating in the river tomorrow. Don't disappoint me. Julius is counting on you.
So it turns out that Julius was arrested in the last video, and it also turns out that the chief of Stillwater Police is kind of a son of a bitch. He's blackmailing us, holding Julius ransom, to kill the mayor. Or was it the candidate for mayor? Not sure. In any case, I think he's the incumbent mayor, now that I think about it. In any case, we gotta shoot up this bus until it pulls over so we can steal it. So, there's a lot of cops coming after you. But the bus soaks up damage pretty well. You know, I've talked about the driving and shooting, but it's really not too bad when you have a vehicle this big. The other just thing to keep in mind is that you might need to be switching out your own vehicles. And walking all the way around police cars to go into the passenger side, apparently. Alright, so let's chase him. At this point in the game, you should be making more than enough money from your hoods to buy all the ammo you could ever want. So damaging the bus shouldn't be that much of a concern. You could use a rocket launcher, but it's better to stay mobile. You can't really shoot out the window. Let's try to get in this bus quick. Whoa. That's kind of a weird role reversal. Come on, Chicken Head, get on the bus. So, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a little timer in the top left. And the thing about the timer is that it starts as soon as the phone call's over. The phone call from Chief Monroe. So you really need to get in the car and start driving over here as soon as you get the call, because that's the total time you have for the entire mission. It's plenty of time to get to the bus, but I'm actually cutting it pretty close here on getting the bus to the train tracks. So buses are another big heavy thing, just like the semi-trucks. So they do smash through people pretty easily, but they don't turn as well for some reason, probably because they're a giant bus. And they're not as durable. You can see we're all getting a little bit of wrinklage and bendage on the back here. So there's not, you don't want to just drive through everything like you can with the semis. You gotta take care of your baby. Fortunately, we're only at 2-star notoriety, so things aren't too crazy. There's just a few weird turns you gotta take up, and I think the GPS actually kind of took us on a circuitous route to the train tracks. We haven't been in this side of town ever since we defeated the Carnalis. And you know, getting stuck on these little poles really makes life not as stressful. But we actually have plenty of time because the train tracks are right here. And the other nice thing is, you don't even have to wait for the timer to go down. You just got to get the hell out of the train track so you don't get blown up. Run away. And then let's see for the action. Very nice. I thought it was going to be a cutscene first time I did this game, so I thought I was just going to end it, and then I missed the explosion, so I won't make that mistake again. But wait, where's Chicken Ned? Was he trapped on the bus? Oh, there he is. Good old Chicken Ned. So we actually have to bid adieu to Chicken Ned to do the next couple missions here. So let's go ahead and take care of it.
Did you handle it? Where the fuck is Julius?
Have you heard back from Monroe?
Nice work. But I don't think I can let Julius go until you do a little more community service. We'll be in touch.
Looks like we wait.
Why? So we can let this jagoff jerk us around? Fuck that!
And what would you rather do?
You know exactly what I'd like to do.
Johnny, we're not blowing up City Hall.
Hey, I'm just saying, it would solve a lot of problems.
What if they're keeping Julius there?
Alright, but there's gotta be a better plan than let's be Monroe's bitches.
You're right, there is. Marshal Winslow was a major public figure, and you can bet your ass that people would ask questions if the chief of police wasn't at his funeral. I say we hit Monroe during the funeral procession. That should show whoever he's working with that we're not fucking around.
You're saying we should assassinate the chief of police while he's at the funeral of the guy we just smashed?
Yeah.
Don't tease me, Dex.
Let's fucking do it. We only get one chance at this, so we can't fuck this up. Once we hit Monroe, we better get out of there quick. The last thing we want is to make a big scene.
Yes, because assassinating the chief of police at a funeral is not going to be making a big scene. It's a classic Saints Row mentality, which is probably why I love Saints Row so much. If someone does something to you, you do it back to them, but 10 times worse.
Across the street, they'll be giving us cover if things go bad after the hit. Now let's get to the roof before the mourners roll by. Take this. When the funeral... Fuck it. Take all those cop cars out. Monroe's gotta be in one of them. Okay, here comes the procession. Just line up with the cop car and... This ain't a problem. Monroe is ready to clear. A little more so find out what car.
So those two lines of dialogue are actually in reverse order. Something got kind of glitchy. So basically, there's a bunch of cars down there. We have to blow them all up just to make sure that Chief Monroe dies. They give you the sniper rifle with like, what was it, 5 bullets? And that's stupid. So we're going to blow everything up with rocket launchers. That's the Saints Row way, don't you know? So Johnny's supposed to be covering us, and besides blowing up the first truck, I'm not really sure what he does, but you know, you can't really fault Johnny Gat for anything. So we're not going to worry about it. It's kind of an awkward vantage point. Usually the cars make it a little further down the street, but I think something got really glitched out with this mission, so oh well. Our notoriety is up something quite fierce. So you'll see what that actually means in a second. My only problem I'm having right now is that I can't actually see where the last car is. I guess it's that FBI van right there? Who knows? It's kind of hard to see where the arrow is. So I don't like to do this, but it looks like we're going to have to go down and around. This actually might work out at an advantage when we're trying to make our inconspicuous getaway. The nice things about doing these missions at the end of the game is that there's plenty of homies around to give you backup. The other thing is that one of those squares is actually glitched. Yeah, mission's over now. Well, this part of it, even though that square is still there. So best thing to do is to take one of these FBI vans. Probably the trickiest part of this game, this part, is making sure that Dex is with you the entire time. This is probably one of the hardest driving sections in the entire game, because absolutely everyone and everything is coming after you. So that's why you want to take the FBI van. And don't be afraid to switch out cars. The only really trick with that is making sure Dex gets back in with you. But other than that, it's just trying not to lose your momentum and praying. So we'll see how this works out.
Full of stars.
A hit like that won't save your ass. Agent needs cover.
Where am I when this shit goes in?
Take him down! Take him down! Jesus, watch it!
Okay, so in spite Dex not knowing how to enter a car and us hitting every blockable part of scenery in the map, we're actually doing okay. If things are getting really hairy, you can always just jump out and run through. You don't actually have to drive through Forgive and Forget.
They'll be scooping Monroe up for weeks.
And that's the end of that. Good for us.
Hello there, young man. This is Alderman Hughes. That was quite a message you sent at Winslow's funeral. And trust me, I heard it loud and clear. Now, I'd like to set one thing straight. It was Monroe's plan to strong-arm the Saints. Personally, I've always thought you and I could have a much healthier relationship. Now, we've had a rocky start, yes, but why don't we fix that? Come over to my fundraiser tonight. Julius will be there, and between the three of us, I'm sure we can work something out.
And that is the setup for the very last mission in the game. It's kind of an interesting one that I won't be giving any commentary for. So this is kind of us wrapping things up. We're going to take a look at our new penthouse. Just, you know, walk around it just in case we get a chance to check it out later after we beat this last mission. It's, you know, it's very nice. There's all the stuff is. You know, weapon cache, nice TV, DJ booth, some gold records because, you know, the record company and stuff. It's probably one of my favorite pads in the game just because, I don't know, I'm into music and stuff, so it's pretty neat. Nice little bar. I'm into booze too, so I don't know. I just like this penthouse quite a bit. There's where the safe is, and if you look down here, you can actually see where that last Vice King's mission took place. That's where we came through. So yeah. So I've really enjoyed doing the LP. Just to say, I've really enjoyed all the great comments and discussion in the thread, and even like the YouTube comments have been pretty fun to read. Everyone's been very nice. I don't know if you know, but this is the first time I've tried to do an LP, and I really enjoyed it. So thanks for that. I would like to do Saints Row 2 sometime in the future, but not for a while. I don't know if you heard, but there's a kind of a new obscure game coming out next week called Saints Row the Third that I might give that a try and play until my Xbox explodes. So I hope you enjoyed the last mission, and I'll be catching you guys later. Take care.
Your guest is here, Mr. Hughes.
Thanks, Stephen. If you don't mind, could you wait outside? I'm Richard Hughes. It is a pleasure to meet the man who handed me the election. No need to be modest. I'm serious. There's no way I could have beaten Marshal Winslow. God rest his soul. But you made the impossible happen, and for that, I can't thank you enough. I mean, had Winslow been the only person killed, attention would have definitely been cast on me. But after that fireworks display you pulled at his funeral, it's become abundantly clear these horrible crimes were perpetrated by the 3rd Street Saints. While before people criticized my Saints Row urban renewal plan, it is now being lauded. See, until you came along, I was displacing poor people. Now, I'm destroying a hotbed of gang activity. What can I say? The public is fickle. Champagne. As you get older, you quickly learn that there are only 2 types of people in this world. Race, money, gender, none of this matters. At the end of the day, you're either a winner or a loser. Now, the sad truth about our situation is that in order for me to be a winner, I have to level your neighborhood and salt the earth. Hold on for a moment. Stephen, could you come in here? Where was I? Oh yes, salting the earth. Now, I suppose I could try to pay you off, But really, what's the point? You just say no. Or in your case, stand there looking intimidating, and we'd be right back to where we started. So I figured I'd cut the middleman and get right to the point.
Hey, yo, can you speed this shit up? I want to go to Freckle Bitches.
You're going to die here, son. Make no mistake about that. But if it makes it any easier on you, I'll be sure to thank you in my acceptance speech. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a party to...
Welcome to Saints Row, the home of the gun clappers, more-time criminals, sneak thievers, and carjackers. Where the streets fight back and shootouts are bound to happen. Ain't nobody scrapping all of these killers. It's taking action, gang wars, yeah, we bang to the death. Gaining respect in the intelligent city. Think smart and wear your vest. Watch your right just as well as your left. Cause 9 out of 10 times we'll creep from behind and blow the tech. Heat holding, whips stolen while police is patrolling. Flashing they lights, telling us to pull over. We keep going on a high speed, chasing the law. Out on parole, swerving out of control with the gas pedal to the floor. On a death wish, driving reckless with no headlights. Running through roadblocks and we ain't stopping at red lights. That's how the game goes. Switch up and change clothes. Watch your back when you walk through the streets of Saints Row, nigga.
Man up. Somebody gon' get laid down. Man up. Whether music or 4 pounds. Man up. Ain't no need to know me well. We can get the drama poppin', homie, I won't tell. Man up. Somebody gon' get laid down. Man up. Whether music or 4 pounds. Man up. Ain't no need to know me well. We can get the drama poppin', homie, I won't
into
tell.
the real world where corrupt cops and vigilantes lurk. Henchmen put in position to do my handiwork. Mob bosses hire hitmen to get your family murked. No matter right or wrong, remember to put your family first. We in the gutter, watching for undercover, slinging butter. Posted up on the corners, me and my brothers. Sex, money, and drugs, the hungriest thugs. Sleep with my burner and wash with my gun in the tub. Posted up in the back of the club, we doing it. That's a nice outfit on your back, don't make me ruin it. First class service shots like a stewardess. Gun out the holster, now come a little closer so you computer fit. Blood stains, bullets are genuine, so you fluidless. Barely escape with the jaws of life when your Buick flip. That's how the game goes. Switch up and change clothes. Watch your back or fall flat in the traps. A Saints Row player.
Man up. Somebody gon' get laid down. Man up. Whether music or 4 pounds. Man up. Ain't no need to know me well. We can get the drama poppin', homie, I won't tell. Man up. Somebody gon' get laid down. Man up. Whether music or 4 pounds. Man up. Ain't no need to know me well. We can get the drama poppin', homie, I won't tell.
This just into the newsroom. A deadly explosion has rocked the waterfront. Our Jane Valderrama is already at the scene.
Jack, waterfront residents and the press who were setting up their cameras and microphones to cover the gala fundraiser scheduled for mayoral candidate Hugh's campaign were treated to an amazing sight a few moments ago as the yacht registered to the alderman exploded in a shower of brass and mahogany. We were a safe distance away, so no one here was injured, as far as we can tell. But we have no word as to who, if anyone, was actually aboard. We don't know how this happened, why this happened, or even who was on the boat, if anyone, as no survivors have been located. I was inside the press tent when it happened, but witnesses outside say that the peaceful, serene evening was suddenly punctured by a vicious explosion that not only reduced the alderman's yacht to a pile of floating debris, but knocked out windows and swamped smaller boats throughout the marina. Jack?
Jane, while you were giving that report, we attempted to contact Alderman Hughes' press secretary, and there was no answer. Do we know where the alderman is?
No, we do not, Jack. I've asked around, and no one from the press corps noticed any official movement on the boat, as it's early in the evening, and the event was not scheduled to begin for another couple of hours.
Do we know if this was an accident or yet another attempt on the life of a public official?
Jack, we don't have any definitive answers on that, and with almost no details emerging yet, we still do not know if this was something as silly as a galley or a fuel tank explosion. But in the light of recent events, we cannot rule out the possibility that this was more than just an accident. Reporting live from the waterfront, this is Jane Valderrama. Back to you, Jack.
Thank you, Jane, and stay dry. Stay tuned as we get more details on this unfolding event. We will bring them to you immediately. In the newsroom, I'm Jack Armstrong.
He won't make it. Hurry, hurry, call the ambulance. This young man ain't breathing. All that thinking, don't leave him buried underneath dirt, 6 feet sleeping. He won't make it. Hurry, hurry, call the ambulance. This young man ain't breathing. All that thinking, don't leave him buried underneath dirt, 6 feet sleeping. He won't make it.
Size ain't shit, pussy, you ain't heard. Sucker till his vision and his words get blurred. Mr. Rack back the gauge and shots get heard. It's the steady gang crusade, so spread the word. This ain't row, I roll where your busters can't go. Trust is a must, bust first and stay low. 45 caliber medical manifesto. I see you where you let your last breath go. Let's go serving, Jack the Jackers. Got full body armor when the cops attack us. I'm a killer with a cannon, ain't afraid to use it. Squeeze the trigger, fill the whole room with chamber music. I know niggas that had it all and blew it. My hammer shine like a Mercedes, but you don't wanna get into it. Don't pursue it, make your body leak some fluids. My niggas don't talk, they do it. We stranded on same road, fill your clips up and let them go. Medical attention is essential, fuck you. Yeah.
Hurry, hurry, call the ambulance. This young man ain't breathing. All that thinking, don't leave him buried underneath dirt, 6 feet sleeping. He won't make it. Hurry, hurry, call the ambulance. This young man ain't breathing. All that thinking, don't leave him buried underneath dirt, 6 feet sleeping. He won't make it.
Saint Row, bringing that banging back to the street. Feel the agony.
Weird problem I don't think you can fix. I don't think these motherfuckers want a problem with this. Follow the script before you have to swallow a clip. And I'ma flip it like a slanging all night at the script. Remember this shit, the way me and my enemies trip. Fighting back like Horowitz for like 10 in the clip. +6, 1 in the chain, remember the name. Strong on steady, I depend on my gang. Fall back, collecting respect, the intellect, deep thinker. And that's the whole hook, line, and sinker. Customizing my flow, enterprise wherever I go. Keep them niggas there away from your hole. Yeah, Saints Row into the world. It's where the streets fight back. Right back in the streets, fighting the world. Step right up and get fucked up the first time. 911 is a joke, get the punchline. We on the incline, net grossing, bars up like one time in the California sunshine.
Hurry, hurry, call the ambulance. This young man ain't breathing.